Welcome to Freed on Business. He grew up in South Florida, has been in business here since the early 90s, and has closed over $3 billion in deals. He's seen it all. He always has an opinion, and he's always ready to share it. Informed, entertaining, and connected, he has his finger on the pulse of South Florida's business community. He's Jim Freed, and this is Freed on Business.
Very exciting show we have today. We've got a great community building show. We're going to talk about resiliency and building your business and your home in a safe manner with C-PACE financing. It's a new concept that's really gained traction. I don't even want to call it new anymore. It's been around for years. I've been working on it. I've closed a couple of deals with one of my clients, and we're going to talk with one of the big funding sources today, Inland Green Real Estate. We'll have them on in the first part of the show talking about how you can lower your cost of capital, increase your ability to build a beautiful project, and do it efficiently with Inland. And then the second half of the show will be, well, it's all green. The second half of the show, we're going to have Publix on. We ran into the folks from the community, the Publix community involvement team at the Warren Henry Special Athlete Award. Remember that, Mr. Mendoza? I can see Mr. Mendoza back there. He gives me the high five. That's right. We met them there. They were wonderful. So we're going to have Publix on. We're going to talk about getting Publix involved in your fundraiser, what Publix is doing in the community. And it's just tremendous. We've had them on in the past, and they've really helped us with a number of events. And this will tell you how you can get them involved in your event as well. So we're going to start, as always, with throwing it to Mr. Mendoza, talking about Warren Henry and the great cars they have. In fact, the one I just got was tremendous, is tremendous. I love it. Mr. Mendoza, tossing it to you. Well, Mr. Mendoza, I appreciate those fresh videos. You must be breaking out the drone and doing those. Those are awesome. High five to you for the great videos of, yes, all the projects that I've done. I do all those high rises. I've got a whole bunch in the pipeline. We won't talk about that on this show. We'll talk about it on the next. I've been having some great meetings with my investors and my partners, and boy, what we've got cooking is just tremendous. You know what else is tremendous? My friends at Warren Henry. I absolutely love them. You know, I always say surround yourself with people that believe in you, and then you'll get where you're going. Well, that's the guys and gals at Warren Henry. Can't wait to see them this week at Supercar Saturday. I'm sure that Floyd will be up there. High five to Floyd. Can't wait to see Floyd. Thank you to Floyd for setting up all those great supercar events. I can't wait to see Larry. He's always there. Hopefully Eric will be there. Samantha, maybe she's there, maybe she's not. And of course, my good friend Abe Cohn, who I keep pestering, when am I getting my new Lambo SUV? And the answer is probably on my next car. I'm starting to get the letters. It's time to trade in. So here we go. And remember, when you're looking to buy or lease a car, you want to get every advantage you can. So you want to check out Warren Henry, Land Rover, Range Rover, Infiniti, and Jaguar up at 151st and Biscayne in their tremendous store. If you want to get an Audi, they've got those up in Gainesville. That's also a great store, gorgeous cars. And in the Keys, a dynamite store there. They got all kinds of great cars down there. I'm really considering getting that Jeep truck car thing that you've seen on TV. Man, does that look hot. And one of the young guys in my building has it in jet black with a jet black interior. Oh, it just smokes. What do all those cars and vehicles have in common? Well, they're all great cars and great vehicles, and they all come with the Warren Henry Advantage. It's a suite of services. I got a whole long list I usually read. Let's start with the fact that you can get that free loaner car if it takes a while for your service. You lose your fancy keys. It costs like $100 for those. They'll replace them. If you like to park close to the curb like I do and you scratch your rims up, they'll polish them up for you. And they'll make sure you get the best price for your used car, and they'll make sure you get a great price on your new car. And if you don't like your car in 3 days, you can return it. Oh my gosh. Whoosh. All those great things, all in one package, all from my friends at Warren Henry. Make sure to call them. Remember, all their great cars, all the great prices, always Warren Henry. Join my mom, me, and all of my friends. We're members of the Warren Henry family. You should be too. Remember, always the best price, always the best service, always Warren Henry. I really love doing these shows. I love doing them with the people that I really care about. And that's what it's all about here. The Freedom Business Show is about getting you great information, but it's also about projecting great information to you. Remember to reach out to me for both residential and commercial loans. We've got incredible, I'll say it again, incredible real estate financing for people that want to do their single family homes with me. I am getting unbelievable loans, things that weren't able to be done 10 days ago. Now the dam is broken. Almost anybody is financeable. Give me a call on that. And I've got tremendous pref equity programs that I'm about to announce, stretch construction mortgages. Oh, it's better than equity because it's debt. That means you control yourself. So call me, DM me, get into it now because the world is changing rapidly and I've got access to the best capital for both your residential and commercial projects. Find me, Jim Freed, Freed on Business, whatever it is. And remember, whenever you call me, it's always all about you.
Welcome back to Freed on Business. Connect with us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at Jim Freed or at Freed on Business, and on Instagram at Jim Freed1. Now, back to your host, Jim Freed.
Thank you, as always, Mr. Mendoza, for showing all the deals I've done at night on that one. Oh, he drives by at least $300-400 million worth of business I've done there. High five to you, Mendoza. We have got one of my favorite people of all time on. Bring her on, Mr. Mendoza. Bring her on. There she is, Maria Kowalik. I know I never get it right, but I always keep trying.
It's not as hard as it looks. It's Kowalik.
Kowalik.
Yes, Kowalik.
Mendoza will tell you I butcher virtually everybody's name except mine, and they all butcher mine. Maria, thank you for being on. I want to give a shout out to Jonathan Stein for putting us all together here. Jonathan is a good friend for many years. I love him. One of the original Inland partners. He is tremendous. And Maria, please tell me about your group over at Inland and what do you do?
So I belong to the Inland Green Capital group. We are part of the Inland group of companies, real estate experts for over 53 years nationwide. I like to always start by saying we've got such great taglines that all of us employees live by day to day. And those three words are integrity, expertise, and innovation. And I like to say that Inland Green Capital is the innovation part most recently, bringing forth all of the opportunities to improve properties across the nation with C-PACE financing.
Now, what is C-PACE financing? Because it's not really that new anymore. Here in Miami, we see about 10 million ads for C-PACE financing whenever we watch a sporting event. Help me understand what C-PACE is for commercial.
Yes. So C-PACE literally means commercial property assessed clean energy financing. And what it is, it's a great gap tool. It's a wonderful economic development and business retention tool, because what it does is it provides the opportunity to finance projects that might not otherwise get done, specifically on the retrofit side, where a property owner may be thinking about improving their property, improving its value, wanting to meet certain ESG goals, wanting to meet certain community sustainability goals, and so, or maybe just doing a replacement of HVAC, any energy efficiency, renewable energy, water conservation, or resiliency projects. Those eligible components can be financed up to 100% with PACE financing, which is incredible. You'll find no other conventional lending tool out there that matches this. And it has so many benefits, being, as its name says, it is property assessed. So the repayment of the debt instrument is through the special assessment mechanism on the tax bills. And so basically it is it hits below the line. It can free up credit facility for the commercial property owner. It has transferability properties where it can run with the land. So there are just so many benefits to looking into CPACE and how it can work for your project. And then I just must mention that on the new construction side, where there's a lot of that going on, here's where we're the gap filler. We can replace some private equity, or we can replace higher cost mezzanine loans, or just be part of a capital stack alongside of all of these pieces, because we don't replace any incentives or other programs, other rebates. We just work side by side in that capital stack with the primary lender, any construction loans, et cetera, and can just specifically work on those energy efficiency components for the financing piece. And it's a marvelous product.
So I know that some lenders work with CPACE financing. Others find it somewhat problematic. Are you finding that there are more and more lenders available to do the senior financing with your CPACE programs?
Absolutely. Across the country. It's taken a while. It's a very young program. Like you were saying, it's young, but getting old. It's old enough that people should know about it. But it's about 11 going on 12 years old. And that's still pretty young in this industry. And so it's taken a while to, kind of find its legs. And because it is a property assessed product, each state's tax laws are slightly different. And so you have to legislate this program state by state in order to get it up and running. And so right now there are 37, I think maybe close to 39 states now coming on board with the legislation. But then the programs are a little fewer, and they take a bit longer to create, develop, and then finally implement to be able to facilitate the financing between all the stakeholders and the local governmental authorities who handle the real estate taxes.
I'd like to take a little short break, and then I want to come back and talk about one of the real strengths of your program, and that's the people that are on your team and their background and how they work with the local governments to make sure that this gets good, solid execution. So stick with us. We're going to be right back, and we're going to talk more CPACE financing with the folks from Inland Green Capital back after this. I just love the folks in Inland. They're so tremendous. They bring the Midwestern perspective to the table. And Mr. Mendoza will agree that he loves that Midwestern perspective. We won't throw him under the bus and say he's also from Chicago like they are. Oops, I just did. Hey, everybody, remember, if you're looking to buy or lease a car, you want to get every advantage that you can, especially in today's crazy world. That's why I work with Warren Henry. We just got a brand new QX60 from them. It's tremendous. It's so much more vastly improved than the old model that we had. It's a brand new model. My wife loves it. I love it. The only problem is I couldn't figure out how to turn off the lights, and I ran down the battery. So what happened? Yeah, Infinity sent somebody out and charged right up for us, just like they would for anybody. But we love being a part of the Warren Henry family, the Infinity family. And remember, when you're looking to buy or lease a car, you want to get every advantage that you can. That's why you have to check out Warren Henry. Land Rover, Range Rover, Infinity, and Jaguar up at 151st and Biscayne. Down in the Keys, they got all the great nameplates. Up in Gainesville, my hometown. Well, I guess Miami's my hometown, but I still love Gainesville. Go Gators. Sorry, I had to throw that in there. Up in Gainesville, they sell Audis. What do all those cars have in common? Well, they're all great cars, and they all come with the Warren Henry Advantage. A long list of great features that you get whenever you buy a car at Warren Henry. It includes Complimentary rim polishing up. If you scratch up your rims, they'll replace your key if you lose your key. Of course, they'll make sure you get a free loaner if you've got to leave your car in for service for an extended period of time. And they'll make sure you get a great price. And they'll make sure you get a great price on your trade-in. And you get 72 hours to make sure you like your car. Guess what? You will. Everybody does. No one turns in their car back after that. They love those cars. Join me, my mom, my beautiful wife, Vivian. You know, I really love her. She's in the other room right now. I love you, baby. Me, my wife, and my beautiful wife, Vivian, all my friends. We got lots of friends that own these cars. Why? Because they always have the best price. They always give you great service. It's always Warren Henry.
This is Becca Carlson from Carlson Integrated. You know, a lot of our clients find that they can do anything, but not really everything. We are always excited to jump in and help. So whether you need another set of hands for a project or even comprehensive marketing management, our team of marketing mavens would love to have a conversation with you to see if we are the right fit. We do everything from logo and design work to email outreach and social media to writing and thought leadership. And here's a fun one. We are now offering our fabulous ebook of top 10 marketing tips on our website for free. So head over to carlsonintegrated.com and grab a copy today. And please always let us know how we can help. My email is Becca, that's BEKAH at carlsonintegrated.com. That's BEKAH at carlsonintegrated.com.
She's tremendous. You know, Carlson Integrated always helps me look good. They just rebuilt both of my websites, and now we're going to rebuild my YouTube station, create a YouTube station, redo all my YouTube stuff. That's the heads up to you, Mr. Mendoza. You'll look for the calls from them. They're going to help you so that you don't have to do it, and it can look really good and really professional. We get the final seamless touch to everything. I think that they are tremendous. Other people that are tremendous include my partner in residential real estate, Ed Cairo. Mr. Mendoza, we're going to have to get an ad cut with me and Ed. Ed is on fire. At the beginning of the year, I didn't think I'd be doing any more residential mortgages because my commercial loan and pref equity programs have been just catching fire and keeping me so busy. And then one after the other. I got calls from my college roommate, one of my fraternity brothers, another person that we did an old, that was a person that we were working up and then came back. And yes, even an ex NFL football player. We're working with them all to help them all get incredible financing on their homes, their primary residences. I didn't even think any of these programs were going to be out there, and then bang, there they come. For instance, we couldn't do an Airbnb 10 days ago. Now we can do an Airbnb, certain ones. Commercial side, my gosh, wait till you see the flyers I'm going to put out next week with my new commercial programs. Everything from bridge loans to pref equity to stretch mortgages, I can get it done. There's something that runs common to all of these. The common thread is that when you call me, it's always all about you.
Welcome back to Freed on Business. Connect with us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at Jim Freed or at Freed on Business, and on Instagram at Jim Freed1. Now, back to your host, Jim Freed.
We are on, and we are having a great show today. We are having our first half of the show is about helping your community be resilient. We're on with Maria Kowalik. How'd I get it? Did I hit it right there?
This time.
Oh, well, you see, I think I got this like dyslexia or something, because I read stuff fast. I think that it got started in elementary school with this thing where they did these scholastic reading things, and they used to make you read what the word was by the way that the shapes of the letters were. And so I started to figure out that that's the way I would do it, and it has served me poorly here when I try to do the name. So Anna Maria, thank you for cutting me slack. And Mr. Mendoza, I think that may actually be the secret of why I always get everybody's name wrong. Yours especially, Mr. Regan Mendoza. That's the only way I get his name right. It's unbelievable. Anna Maria, thank you so much for being here. Thanks again to Jonathan Stein for putting it all together. He's my good friend, the original coach for all the school teachers that founded Inland. You see, the reason I like Inland is everybody at Inland is self-made.
Yes.
Everybody's self-made. I have this theory. I like to call it the theory of the self-made person. That person understands things a lot better. And Anna Maria, that's why I love working with you. Even when I go get my haircut in Joe's office, that's a joke because everybody knows Joe has barbershop and is all. So, it's great to be, I say, the part of the Warren Henry family. It's great to be part of the Inland family too. Let's talk real quick about, again, the lead on what the capital program, the Green Capital is. But I want to talk about your team because your team is what makes you special.
Yes, absolutely. So we have a small team, but they're very expert in what they do. In fact, our group leader, Inland Green Capital, is Mark Pikus, and he was one of the original investors in CPACE before it actually was a thing nationwide. It had started out in the state of California as a public-private partnership kind of an idea, and they were the first state to take it on and legislate it, and he invested in both the residential and commercial programs there. So once he convinced the Inland Group that this was a wonderful product to work with, long-term fixed rate financing, at cheaper costs than other parts of the capital stack, and having all of these wonderful features to it that make it very unique and niche. He just wanted to grow this and had the support of all the executives in the parent company because they saw the utility of a program like this. You were talking about resiliency, Jim, and you know what? CPACE is right there because there are programs across the nation now trying to make buildings more resilient from flood, from earthquake, and just wind and weather, and so all of these are typically things that are considered under the resiliency type category. Then there's also affordable housing, which can benefit from CPACE, making it a very equitable product. And so just by nature of itself, the CPACE underwrites the property, not the property owner. And so this opens up, this kind of product to a greater group of people across the nation.
I wanted to just say that my personal experience with working with Mark has been amazing. He brings incredible credibility. My client that we're working with, I have to say, is an expert at CPACE financing in the because he's done a couple already. Yes. And Mark is working with us not only to help with the CPACE, but to help with the local underwriting, to help us also coordinate a senior lender. Inland has been a partner in this. And before I forget, I want to give a shout out to Mark Cosenza too. I just don't want to talk about Joe. Mark has been gracious with his time with me many, many times over the years. We look forward to continuing to build our relationship with both Mark and Joe and the coach and everybody else up there. I love them all. I actually went up to Inland in Chicago. My family's from Chicago. You can tell whenever I say Chicago. And it really is true. The difference in the Midwest folks, Mr. Mendoza, even you, is spectacular. We had last week, we had Tom Handler on from Chicago also. So we're really Chicago centric. Rebecca Carlson, our mutual friend, is from Chicago also. And I find it really wonderful to bring that kind of approach down here to the East Coast of Florida, where it's typically New York centric and very, very hard. It's wonderful to work with your team of experts. And I did want to point out one other thing. I'm working on a project in the CRA right now, and there's special CRA things that people with CPACE financing can do. Can you talk a little bit about that for us?
So, basically, I don't know what particularly you were
tax increment financing.
Basically, I am not that finance guru.
Oh, I got to get Mark on the show. I didn't mean to sandbag you. I didn't mean to sandbag you.
So no, that's all right, because Mark actually has quite a financial background. I come from the property management and asset management industry. So I was previously with a REIT that owned shopping centers.
Well, let's talk about that for a minute. No. Let's talk about that for a minute. Because PACE can be, let's talk about it. So somebody owns a portfolio. You're a one-stop solution for a portfolio. Now let's talk more about that. We've only talked about individual properties. You guys have a team and a product that can scale across multiple products, multiple properties.
That's absolutely correct. And so what I bring to the team, besides from a business development perspective and relationships that I've accrued over the years as well, is a knowledge of the projects themselves. And having worked with contractors and developers and all kinds of related folks in that kind of line of work. And yes, absolutely, we can provide solutions to help reduce expenses, being that this property assessed product works very well in pass-throughs to tenants.
Oh, wow. Occupancy. You can reduce occupancy costs, which makes the place more competitive than the center across the street. Oh my gosh.
And then the loan is actually offset by the energy savings, the utility savings, the reduced maintenance expense, operating expenses.
It actually makes it easier for me to get more conventional financing too. Oh my gosh.
Oh yes, because your credit facility remains open. Yes, totally. That's correct.
All the ideas are coming at me now. Oh, you're great.
So,
great
you
idea
see, we each have our own specific specialties. And then we have another member on our team, Jason Stringer, who comes to us from the Wisconsin PACE program. So he has a lot of program experience, a lot of background in working with CPACE projects of all types and sorts. And so, it's the combination of expertise that really makes this team work well for the customer.
We're going to have to wrap up, Anna Maria,
Sure.
but I want to make another date with you. I hope my wife doesn't get jealous hearing that.
Oh, no.
But, and I want you to bring Mark and the rest of the team on. No. I wanted you to bring Mark and the rest of the team on, and I'm going to have my client give me all the questions to ask.
Yes,
because he's very, very shy guy. He doesn't want to come on the show. He is going to watch this. He's told me to send it to him afterwards. He's out in the field today looking at new properties.
There you go.
And one other question. This would apply to a commercial project, like an industrial project, right? Mm-hmm.
Yes, absolutely. So anything that is income producing would be considered commercial project. In fact, even multifamily, greater than five units and greater, can qualify, as long as they are leased. And in certain areas, condos are being more widely accepted for the financing. A little bit more difficult to do because of multiple ownerships and whatnot. But there are some details we could discuss to greater length in another segment.
I can't wait to have you back on the show. You'll coordinate with me and your good friend, Becca. I wonder how you know her.
Absolutely. Oh,
and
yes.
I want to thank you so much, Anna Maria Kowalik. I hope I finally was able to get over my predisposition to getting it wrong and got it right this time.
You did. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you so much for having me today, Jim.
Oh, your giggles, smiles, and great energy made the whole show terrific. And now we're going to go with one of your big tenants in the next round. I know you own a whole bunch of Publix anchored centers, and we're going to have Robyn Hankerson-Printemps on, and I'm sure I butchered her name too. That's my specialty. And we're going to talk about Publix in the community. She's tremendous. We saw her at one of the Warren Henry events, and we just bonded on an energy field. I know that you and her would be like, oh, it would be great. So we're going to work all that out too. But we'll be back after this with Publix in the community. And we want to thank Inland for coming on and talk about CPACE and resiliency.
Thanks so much.
All right. Well, you heard it. I just teased it. Publix in the community after Mendoza touts my great real estate expertise. I love it, Mendoza. Now you're talking about the deals that I'm going to close. That's what you're flying by there is the deals. Some of them I worked on for 10 years. You flew by Fontainebleau Park. You flew by the area, Blue Lagoon. I know what you're doing. Stop teasing everybody with all the business I'm working on. I'll tell you the business that's most important to me. That's the business of making wonderful relationships. And that's why I'm so proud to be a member of the Warren Henry family. I'm going to see them all up at Supercar Saturday up in Pembroke Pines Mall. I keep forgetting which one it is. By the way, Warren Henry has those Supercar Saturdays. My friends love going. I love going. It's a great way to get out of the house and get outside and be with a bunch of people. Even in the pandemic era, you go out there. I feel pretty darn good when I go out and see them. Surrounded by love and kindness too. Can't wait to see my good friend Larry. I know he'll be there. AB will be there. I wish that Samantha would go to more of these, and Eric's there occasionally. But thank you to all of them for the great support they give in the community. And, our next segment, the next two segments will all be because of the relationships that I built. And because I'm a member of the Warren Henry family, you should be too. That's the end of the commercial. You should be too, but we'll get to that in a minute. So they've got Infiniti, Jaguar, Land Rover, Range Rover at 151st and Biscayne. We have Audi with them up in Gainesville, and they have great everything down in Key West. What do they all have in common? Well, they're all great cars. They all come with the Warren Henry Advantage. What's the Warren Henry Advantage? That's a long list of things you get when you buy your car. Starts off with the fact that you get a free service loaner if you got to, drive your car around during the day, but they have to have it in for service. They'll replace your keys. They'll make sure you polish up your rims for you. Make sure you get a great price for both your used car and when you're buying the new one. And they give you 72 hours to exchange your car if you don't like it. Guess what? Nobody ever does that because they love their car. So join me, my mom, my beautiful wife, Vivian, lots and lots of my friends. We're all members of the Warren Henry family. You should be too. Always the best price, always the best service. You got it. Always Warren Henry. Wow, what a great show. Everybody's so tremendous. They're bringing great energy. I'm surrounded by wonderful people, and they're helping me have a great show, and that's what it's all about. You know what else is really great? The access I have to capital. I have incredible access to capital. You need a single-family loan? My partner, Ed Cairo at American Home Finance, he can help you with everything. We're getting so many people tremendous loans, everything from like a $400,000 first mortgage for one of my clients' kids, all the way up to a $2 million mortgage for one of my old college buddies on his house. We're going to close it real fast before rates go up. Rates are going up, so call me if you want to get your resi loan. Commercial, oh my God, what I'm doing. I'm helping people achieve their dreams and goals every single day with that stuff. It's just incredible capital. I've got pref equity, take you all the way up to the top of the capital stack. You can probably do it with green stamps that they used to give at Publix, but they don't anymore. I always miss the S&H green stamps. I wonder what happened with that. Anyway, so capital, you can call me, pref equity, stretch construction loans. I've got it all. Bridge mortgage loans, $90 million inventory loan for your condo. Got that too. If it's crazy, I can help you get it done. And remember, when you call me, it's always all about you.
Welcome back to Freedom Business. Connect with us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at Jim Freed or at Freedom Business, and on Instagram at Jim Freed1. Now, back to your host, Jim Freed.
All right, we're back. We're back with Robyn Hankerson-Printemps. I hope I'm getting that right. I'm sure I'm probably not. We met her up at the Warren Henry event where they were awarding the High School Athlete of the Year. She was one of the proud sponsors of that. Another thing that they've done in the community for many, many years. And just for her, I have a special tie. Yeah,
I absolutely love it.
Oh yeah, that's just for you. And
now
that's my favorite button. Here's my favorite button.
Let me see it.
Beat everybody.
That's right. That's right. I'm in the right place, Jim. I'm definitely in the right place.
Oh yeah, and I got to get you on this, the UF Real Estate Board. Got to get that. Got to get you there.
Absolutely. I love all things UF. I love all things UF.
Well, all things UF, and we love you. I want to thank you so much for everything you bring to our community, especially today, your positive energy and wonderful smile. Welcome to the show, Robyn. Thank you so much for being here. Tell me some stuff about Publix in our community that people don't know. And I want to make sure that at least twice, one in each segment, we talk about how somebody can reach out to you and get Publix involved in some great community events.
Well, first, thank you so much for having me on. I know when we met at the Warren Henry event, we were there. I was actually there supporting the Tournament of Champions. So that's one of our longstanding partnerships of the many that we have in the community. But, as you know, Publix has been a part of the community since its inception. Our founder, Mr. George Jenkins, built the philosophy of giving back right into the whole culture of Publix from day one. So he gave back to the community, he gave back to his associates, and we therefore pay it forward. So we really do a lot. Go ahead.
Oh, no. You took a pause, so I was filling it. You could talk straight for 15 minutes, and I'm fine with that. So we talked about Mr. Jenkins, and then I interrupted you. We talked about the fact that you've got some tremendous programs in the community today. Can you point out a couple of programs you're doing today, and then maybe some of the things you're considering doing in the future?
Absolutely. So I think one of the biggest things that we've really been focused on is hunger. Publix, being a grocery retailer, that's the most important thing that we can do. And the greatest, way that we can play a role is helping people make sure that they have food on their table. So I would say in the past 2 years, we saw that with the pandemic, we saw more people experiencing hunger in different ways. People who never had, waited in line for food had now been in that situation. So we really ramped up our support there, and we started purchasing produce from farmers. So if you go back to 2020, when restaurants were closed, school districts were closed, everybody was closed that these farmers would normally be selling their produce to. And so
it would rot in the fields. It was rotting in the fields, and then we would lose our farmers, our first line of food security. And yes, I agree with you. I cut you off for a second, so I wanted to agree. Food security is extraordinarily important. We all know somebody that I love that's fighting for that. We don't talk about that stuff on this show, but you know who I mean. Another Gator. All right. Yeah, you got it. So really, how is Big Green helping fight hunger in the state of Florida, which is a very important underlying problem that people don't really get? They think the economy is cranking and nobody's hungry. They're wrong.
Yes, unfortunately, there is still a major food insecurity issue. So we've been delivering produce, working with partners throughout our company footprint, but particularly here in South Florida, Feeding South Florida, and up towards the Treasure Coast area, Treasure Coast Food Bank, and all of our Feeding America partners throughout the company. And what we've been doing is delivering produce to them weekly. And that has not stopped since last April 2020. And so we're over 33 million pounds of produce delivered into those food banks and going out into the communities each week. Wow.
That is so, first of all, thank you to you. I only know the real estate folks there. Hi, Woody. But the operational people that get the food to the table and the people that help my wife and I feel safe in public. And let me tell you, if you couldn't make the people in public that are shoppers in Publix feel safe, then none of this is possible. So your team, I want to thank whoever it is on your team that helps my wife and I feel safe when we go to Publix, which we do. We haven't gotten sick in Publix,
Thank you. I'm glad to know it's our pleasure, right? So, that has been, since the pandemic and always, making sure our associates are, taken care of, that they're happy, that they're able to serve our customers is, our number one priority. So I think that's really been our big spaces in the food insecurity area over the past the past 2 years, especially. We've really ramped that up, but it goes beyond in food insecurity, and you start to look at it a little bit differently. So that's where we kind of met with the Tournament of Champions this year, because Publix had been a long-term sponsor. We really look at hunger, youth, education, and homelessness as our 4 pillars, right?
Wow. And let's talk about what the Tournament of Champions is. And then I want to talk about how you use it as a vehicle to project good food habits into the community and help reach our most vulnerable people who sometimes are embarrassed to talk about it.
Sure. So Tournament of Champions really highlights high school athletes and gives them the stage to show off their, athletic ability, and really rewards them in addition to for athletics for their educational achievements. And so Publix has been a part of that event for several years. And this year, when I came to Wesley Freighter, I said, hey, let me just ask you something. Let's look at this a little bit differently. We're going to continue to sponsor. We love, the youth and the sports aspect of it. But let's talk about how many of those students that are a part of your group may be suffering from food insecurity. And so he says, man, I've never thought about it like that. Let me do some research. And
when I went there, it was obvious that they had thought about it and that they were directly thinking about it. I mean, I interviewed Louis Oliver for the show and one of the winners, and they both talked about it.
Wow. I love to hear that, because it was an aspect, you want to make sure you're celebrating youth, but you also, sometimes I think it can be lost on us, some of the things that they deal with outside of that, at home, when they don't know where that next meal is coming from, when they leave school. And so that's what, we started talking about. And I said, look, I want to make sure that we can give these students maybe some gift cards for their family so they can go home and have a good hot meal,
yes.
This week, and so that's where that partnership kind of, took a little bit of a turn. So we continued, supporting the event, but we also added that layer of talking about food insecurity and talking about it in a way that makes us think differently. These athletes may be great on the field, but that doesn't mean that they're not suffering with other things at home, I
think it's the same kind of issue that I had when I went out for Christmas to feed. I said it was the homeless, which was a mistake on my part. Because first we did we fed folks at the church, and then we went on the road. I don't mind saying where we went. Then we went to Peacock Park, and the people in Peacock Park, that are perhaps living in a tent or whatever, they're one thing. But then a gentleman came up to me and asked me if we were giving away food and if it was only for the homeless. And then I realized what he was really saying. He wasn't homeless. He just needed a hot meal. So I asked him, I said, sir, he goes, do you have to be homeless? I said, no. I said, do you have a hot meal that you're planning on eating today? He goes, well, I'm hoping. I said, well, here's two right here. Didn't need to know whether he was homeless or not. Just needed to know that he was hungry and that I was there to help.
I love that story, because that really sums up what I think, how we look at food insecurity differently. I think over time, we have always been taught to think, it has to look a certain way. It has to be that person is homeless. But I can tell you, in the onset of the pandemic, we were partnering a lot with Feeding South Florida. And even in some of the distributions that, we attended, you would see anywhere from a luxury vehicle drive through and, be taking home those meal boxes. And it really put that into perspective, that any of us could be one paycheck away from, not having the lights or not having food on your table. So I think that's where we've really been trying to put our energy and effort this year. We've always supported, our food banks. We've always supported, local pantries, faith-based organizations that feed the community. But now we're starting to really look at it from a different perspective of, hey, those kids playing sports, or, that school, maybe there's ways, we work with kids in distress. We work with all of these different groups, and we support their programming and their educational, experiences. But we also say, hey, are any of your students struggling? Are any of those families looking for that extra, meal that we can help provide? So.
Oh my gosh. All the football players used to be my favorite Gators. I think you're rising to the top of the pantheon of favorite Gators now. We'll be right back. We're going to talk to my new favorite Gator. After this, Robyn, you can stay and do another segment with us, can't you?
Yes, absolutely.
I love this lady. Mendoza, make it short. I got to get back and save some lives and feed some people. Hey, everybody. When you're looking to buy a car, you want to get every advantage that you can. That's why you have to check out my friends and Robyn's friends at Warren Henry. The theme of today's show is being involved in making a difference in the community, making the community better. That is Warren Henry. High five to Samantha Wolf for helping get that done. Samantha, this is a thank you just to you for all the great things that you do in our community. Mendoza, make sure you clip that and we give that to Samantha, because she's tremendous. And I want her to see how there's ripples to what she does with us, not just the ads, but that we pick up on what she's doing with Robyn and we help promote that too, because we love Warren Henry and what they do in the community. The other things they do, they sell great cars. They sell up at 151st and Biscayne, Land Rover, Range Rover, Infiniti, and Jaguar. Up in Gainesville, they sell Audis. Down in the Keys, all the great cars, including the fancy Jeep, whatever it is that I want to get. I can't ever think about what that is. Man, do I love that car. What do all those cars have in common? They all are great cars, and they all come with the Warren Henry Advantage. That's a long list of services. It includes the fact that you get a loaner car when you turn in your car for service. They also make sure that you get the best price for your used car, that you get the best price on your car that you're buying. They give you 72 hours to make sure you like your car. If you don't, you can return it. Nobody returns it because they all love those cars. Join me, my mom, my beautiful wife, Vivian. We're all members of the Warren Henry family. We just got a smoking great QX60 from them. High five to Diego and Diego for helping us with that car. And I'm searching for the other name, so I don't want to slow it down. Gio. So in any event, thanks to everybody at Warren Henry. Always the best service, always the best price, always Warren Henry.
Carlson from Carlson Integrated. You know, a lot of our clients find that they can do anything, but not really everything. We are always excited to jump in and help. So whether you need another set of hands for a project or even comprehensive marketing management, our team of marketing mavens would love to have a conversation with you to see if we are the right fit. We do everything from logo and design work to email outreach and social media to writing and thought leadership. And here's a fun one. We are now offering our fabulous ebook of top 10 marketing tips on our website for free. So head over to carlsonintegrated.com and grab a copy today. And please always let us know how we can help. My email is Becca, that's BEKAH at carlsonintegrated.com. That's BEKAH at carlsonintegrated.com.
Heads up, Mr. Mendoza, I'm going to want this as a special cut, okay? This isn't going to be about Freed on Business or Sandstone or any of that stuff. This is going to be about the charity I've been fundraising for the last month. The Education Fund fundraiser, the Teach-a-thon, is coming to an end. I'm going to ask you one last time to click the link that's below and in all the social media that I've been putting out to work with me to help kids and their teachers learn in the community. You've seen me teach special needs kids at Coral Park Elementary. You can go to my Facebook page and watch me dancing with them to Mark Anthony. It was beautiful. Then you can watch 2 different days I taught at Coral Gables Senior High. I told them that no one's going to be plowing their high school under and making a football stadium. I have a much better location than that. And then we talked. They asked me what my biggest accomplishment was. We all know that that's getting Vivian's kidney. They asked me a whole bunch of things, but the main thing I told them was to make sure they surround themselves with people that love and respect them, and then they'd be able to achieve whatever they desire. What tremendous people. Now I need your help. Click the link and please donate whatever you can to help me reach my goal. I'm trying to bring wonderful things to our community through the Education Fund. They have like a $1 million warehouse where teachers can go shop for supplies for their kids. Please go to the Education Fund or go to my website and please donate today. Thank you so much. We're going back to the show now, Mendoza.
Welcome back to Freed on Business. Connect with us on LinkedIn, YouTube, Facebook, and Twitter at Jim Freed or at Freed on Business, and on Instagram at Jim Freed1. Now, back to your host, Jim Freed.
We're on with my favorite gator, Robyn Hankerson-Printemps. She's the community relationship manager. I hope I got that kind of right for South Florida. What she really does is she makes sure that people don't go hungry down here and that they get educated on how important it is to be involved in the community so that people don't go hungry. Robyn, welcome back to the show. I love you for what you're doing to the community. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you for allowing me to share what we're doing in the community, and for you for going out and doing your part too, because it takes a village. We all know it takes a village.
Thank you so very much. Now, we've talked a little bit about what Publix has been having going on here. Let's talk a little bit about how people can get their charity or circumstance in front of Publix. Publix has helped me throw events. They've been a critical part of it. They've helped me feed young kids. Oh my gosh, if I brought you the pictures of what we did down in Richmond Heights, that's before your time. But my friends and I in Richmond Heights, what we did was amazing. We brought some NFL football players. We fed some kids. We taught them what's important. We brought Lauren Book over there. What a great event. What other things do you have coming up that maybe you could help us publicize, or even some concepts?
So sure. So we really work with different organizations throughout the area. So my particular region goes from Monroe to Brevard County. So that's the Keys to Cocoa Beach. So any nonprofit organization, particularly focused on our 4 areas: education, youth, hunger, and homelessness. So if you are doing work in any of those spaces, Publix is obviously someone that is looking to partner with you and support those events. We have our formal application process. It's very easy application to go online and apply. And you can do so at www.publix.com/request. And you can go online and just submit the application there.
Is it like a one-pager, or is it really detailed? Because I think some of the people you're trying to reach really need more of the one-pager than the really detailed.
It's a one-pager. So it really just asks you to kind of tell us the date of your event, the name of your event, the name of your organization. You have to be a registered not-for-profit. So you've got to have that EIN number, because we're going to ask for that as well. And then you just kind of tell us a little bit about the event and what kind of support you're looking for, whether it's a monetary contribution, whether it's gift cards. And then from there, like I said, it's pretty straightforward and easy to handle. And our team is always available if you have any questions or need help walking through the application process.
I'd also like to offer our venue to help you promote some future events. I'd like to maybe kind of make it a regular quarterly thing where we can get you on specifically to talk about your 4 pillars and to help publicize whatever may be coming up, because my experience has always been that Publix is right there. Publix is one of the pillars, or if, this is going to be great. Publix is part of the real food pyramid that we all need to have in our life. Ooh, how about that?
Love it. Oh, I love it.
That's
I love
yours,
the
Robyn.
way you're talking, Jim. I love the way you're
Robyn.
talking.
Well, that's that little gator in me coming out.
That's it. That's it.
But look, the reality is that it's very hard. Even in the best of times, there are many people that get lost in the dark shadows. And especially with what we're talking about today, food insecurity. As I said in my earlier comment, it's something that most people don't talk about, especially if it impacts them. You know, if there's a student in the classroom, you look to your left, you look to your right, one of those 3 kids, they're having a problem with getting the right food. And if somebody is needing to wants to get involved with you and your team as a participant, maybe a volunteer. Oh, that's it. That's it. Is there a way that people can work with you? Is there like a pool or a list or a place where you go that's a reservoir of talent that you can go to amplify and support your personal efforts as an individual and as a company that,
He's like, there it is. So what we tend to do, and I'm so glad you talked about volunteerism, because what we do have coming up is our big company-wide volunteer effort, and it's called Publix Serves. So it's going to be March 20th through 26th. Now, this opportunity is more for our associates, because we do like to have a day for our associates to get out, or now a week. It used to be a day event, but now it's a week-long event. So this is our time for our associates company-wide to get out and do something in the community. So this year's theme is going to be around environmental activities. So they'll be out. We're partnering with the Florida State Parks. So we'll be at some of the state parks doing some, tree removal, beach
clean
cleanups,
water. Mwah, mwah. Oh,
yes,
I love you. Publix, what a great corporate citizen. Oh.
Yeah, so we love this. And I think what's so incredible about Publix Serves is it's, our associates, they've been working hard in the stores, but they work just as hard in the community. And this is the fun part. They really love getting out and doing, this work together in the community. So we're really looking forward to that when you talk about the level of volunteerism that Publix is involved in.
You do realize that I'm the guy on the insurance commercial that goes up to the manager and talks about how great the guy in produce was. You do realize that I worked in the deli department, so I understand how thin meat is, and what you got to do to make it. So I would like to take this time to thank all of the Publix associates that have really helped my wife and I during the pandemic and even beforehand. And I'm going to say it this way, Robyn. I'm even going to take my glasses off because this is important. Publix touches so many lives on a daily basis. A bad experience at Publix can really hurt somebody. A good experience at Publix can really benefit them. But from Mr. Jenkins to my buddy Woody to all the people that are at Publix to you, the most important thing that you do is you touch people's lives every day. And their experience at Publix has a certain thing that does for them. So Publix, thank you so much for touching the lives of people that you will never meet and making their lives better daily. Every single day, thousands, hundreds of thousands of people have their lives better. And it's made better because of everybody from your associate who makes sure that the restroom I'm using is clean, all the way up to the real estate folks who make sure that the Publix is sited correctly and in a place that's convenient for me. It's really true. That's really what Publix is in this place. So thank you to Publix. And Robyn, thank you to you too for all the great volunteers that you lead and you do in our things you do in our community.
I wouldn't be me if I didn't say it's our pleasure.
Oh, there you go. I think you got that line from somebody. What can you leave us with besides your wonderful laugh and smile? Well, we talked a little bit about how people can reach out to you. Let's do that again, and let's talk one more second about Publix Gives. Let's talk about that.
Sure. So again, for nonprofit organizations, this also includes schools. Faith-based organizations must be a registered nonprofit, though, must have that EIN. You can go to our website, www.publix.com/request. It's a relatively short application where you'll just kind of talk a little bit about the name of the event or program that you're looking for support for, a description of it, a date, and then whatever you are requesting, whether it's gift cards for, to feed families or kids at the event, or whether it's a monetary contribution or sponsorship. So it's relatively easy. And like I said, if you have any questions, our team is always here to support and walk you through it. Our Public Serves initiative coming up March 20th through 26th. This is our opportunity for our associates to go out and just really serve the community that, we live in, the communities that we live in. So they'll be out. We're partnering with the Florida State's, States and Park Department this year. So we'll be out at a lot of different state parks and other organizations in the community, just trying to do our part to make, our communities better.
Robyn Hankerson-Printemps. You haven't corrected me, so I must be getting at least close. You're tremendous. Please bring your smile and good energy back to our show, sometime soon. I really appreciate everything you do. There were so many companies that just come here, pillage and leave. It's so wonderful that Publix is here to build a beautiful community together, that they just don't take, that they give back. And in fact, that they're helping some of our most at-risk people. What a blessing to have you and your team on our show today, Robyn. God bless you. And thank you so much from everybody you'll never meet that you help.
Thank you so much for having me and giving me this opportunity to share a little bit about what we do.
It's my pleasure. Mr. Mendoza, what a tremendous show. What great guests. Robyn, thank you so much. This is where I go. Thank you to everybody for listening to Freed on Business. This is Jim Freed. I want to thank our sponsors, Warren Henry, the University of Florida Center for Real Estate Studies. I want to thank our guest today that came to us from Publix and Inland Green. I want to thank you, our listeners, for being there. You've been all over the place today with your comments, suggestions. Remember, if there's somebody you want to see, please DM me or email me. We'll put them up on the show. Remember, we'll be up next week. Next week, it's going to be tremendous. We're going to talk about living in the virtual world and buying and selling real estate and doing blockchain. It's going to be amazing with really great people. And remember, the person that wants to do something finds a way. That's you, Robyn. The other finds an excuse. Anna Maria, she's still here. Anna, too. The other person finds. Oh, I'm going to start again. The person that wants to do something finds a way. The other finds an excuse. Now go out there and make it happen. God bless you, and God bless the United States of America. Mr. Mendoza, the rest of the time is yours.